Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to replace the tire on this Gotway or Begode MSuper X or MSX. Alright, I believe this is the 84 volt version. I did do some mods on this thing, so it's not going to be exactly the same as a normal one, but yeah. Alright, so first thing we're going to need, this is a hex key, 5mm or 3/16 inch. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that first. We're going to remove the pedals. So just get it in the side there, and we're just going to untwist these. Okay. We're going to get these little bolts out here. Okay, so it looks like this. There's two on each pedal, so we're going to get those out. I don't know if I have to take the entire wheel apart. We'll see. Okay. So we got those two bolts out. Next, we got to push the metal shaft or bar, whatever that thing is, in. All right. So I'm going to wiggle the pedal as I kind of push on it, and that usually helps. Let's see. It doesn't want to quite go that way. Let's see if we push it the other way. Am I going to have to use a hammer? Usually it's not stuck this hard. Maybe over time it got bent. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna use a screwdriver handle and just smack it. Is it going in? Okay, it is going further in, but it's really stuck in there. Uh-oh, I'm damaging my screwdriver handle. Okay. I can see the thing is coming out here, so let me get like a hammer and something longer then. Give me a second, I'll be back. Alright, so I got this rubber mallet, and we're just going to use the screwdriver and smack it out. Alright, there we go. You can see we got it. It's all like corroded and stuff, that's why it was so hard to get out, I guess. Okay. So once you get those two out, there are little kind of spacers in there, so be careful not to lose those. So we're going to pull these two spacers out. Oops, I dropped one down there. That's usually what ends up happening. Here's the first pedal. Set that aside, get that spacer. Okay. Other spacers down there. Come here, you little spacer. Go. Got those spacers out. Okay, then I have this cover, so I'm going to take this off. Alright, pull it down. Wow, this thing hasn't been removed in so long. Okay. Whoa, my brother got dust all, or sand all in it. Okay. So we're going to go over the other side. I also have this cable thing I put in here. I did a few mods on here, so I did like a, what do you call, a like built-in charger. Okay, let me get this sand stuff out because I don't want to work on top of the sand, so give me a second, I'll be back. Alright, so I got the cover off completely. Let's go ahead and start taking all these screws out. I am going to have to keep them in order because they are different. There are some flat screws and there are some rounded top screws, so try and keep them in order. Okay. Or just remember where they came from. Man, he got a lot of sand in this thing. Okay. There's quite a few screws. Welcome to fast forward over this. And the flat screws are the ones that are kind of somewhat more exposed. Like here you can see this one is flat, this one's flat, because it's exposed and resting against the case. Okay. Right. I think there's only 3 flat screws actually. So there's one more up in this corner. Here, this is a rounded one. We are also going to have to take out the trolley handle and stuff, so yeah. It was somewhat of a long, tedious process to get the wheel and tire out. I'm pulling up the screw as I'm like spinning it to help the screw out. Go. Alright, and because I have this power button in here, I gotta be careful when I lift this up because it is attached underneath. So we're gonna wiggle this and pull this. Oh, I missed 2 screws over here. Sorry. Don't forget those. I was wondering why it wasn't coming out. Alright, now it should come off. Alright, so here I have this stuff I did. I have this power button I need to disconnect. And then I have this touch sensitive button here that lets me control the LEDs. Okay, so I'm just going to peel this off. And I'll just get some new adhesive, I think, to stick it back down. Alright, so we'll take that off. And we'll set the cover aside. Next thing we got to do, there's 2, I don't know if I'm even getting a good view here. There are 2 batteries that we need to disconnect so we don't get electrocuted. There's this one, and okay, so one battery is going to here. The other battery is going in there. Actually, I think we can disconnect both by this one cable, if I remember correctly. I haven't done this in so long. Okay, so there's this connector. You want to be careful. Pull that apart. Okay, and then there's a lot of power running in these capacitors, so you want to be very careful. Right. Also, this was modified with a better or quieter fan. Okay, let's see. What do I need to remove? I forget if I can take the whole thing out by just removing one cover or not, because I don't know if the wheel will be able to come off that way. So I think we have to take everything out, but that's going to be a huge pain. Am I going to have to take everything off? I think so. Okay, let's continue removing screws then. So we're going to pull the trolley handle up, and there's 2 screws on the back here. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm removing those 2 screws. We want to keep these separate because they are different from the others, and you don't want to mix them up. Okay, I think there's screws on the... Are there screws on the other side as well? Yeah, there are screws on the other side as well. There's 4 screws on this side, so get these screws all out. Okay. And I'm going to keep these screws in order. Oops. Don't lose the screws. Screw here. Okay, and we don't need to pull these bars out. We're just gonna separate the plastic pieces, and hopefully it should come off. Okay, we pull this apart. Come on, missing some screws. Okay, so these 2 plastic pieces should separate. Just gotta wiggle and pull it. There we go. Okay, so there's that, the little trolley handle. We're gonna set that aside. Okay, what's next here? I created all these extra connectors here, and this one is for the charger that I built in. Okay, so let's see, how are we going to do this? Hide this guy here because we'll worry about it later. Okay, I guess let's start unscrewing everything. We got all these screws here we gotta undo. out. There we go. Oh, it's not magnetic, so these screws are kind of just, I don't know. I'm gonna have to make sure I don't lose them. Okay, you can hear the screws like click when they're out all the way. Screw all the way back here. Well, I'm also going to have to pull off my little mud flap. Okay, so we got those out. There's one more over here I didn't get. Okay, there we go. How am I going to get these? They're going to be, yeah, these screws don't want to come out, so I'm going to have to be very careful because they're probably going to fall off while I'm working on it. So I guess I'll have to dump them out and then just figure it out. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And I got to be careful because I don't want it to short on anything. So I guess we'll tip it over this way. Screws are supposed to be in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're missing 2. I don't know if they're still in there. Let's see. This is going to be a problem. Okay, there's no screw in that one. No screw in that one. Maybe they all came out and it's just I didn't find them. Is this one still in there? I don't see it anymore. Oh, found one. Okay, the last one might still be in there. Check with the screwdriver. Yeah, I think that screw's still in there. Okay, let me see how I can get that one out. I'm gonna have to rotate this over. That screw doesn't want to come out. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I gotta hold this all together. And actually, let's flip this because we do have to disconnect stuff in here as well. So let's go ahead and take this pedal off. Okay. Same thing. This thing. Oh, this one's kind of stuck. This one's really stuck. I think my brother got some mud and sand in it and it's stuck. Let's get all these screws out. Oh, give me a second, I have a customer here. Alright, let's get this side cover off. Oh wait, I still need to take this off. Did I get the other? Did I get this off already? Yep. Okay. Gotta get this bolt out. Where did I throw that other screw? Huh. No. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, I've got this bolt out. We're gonna have to push this through as well. this one's not as bad. So I'm gonna wiggle and pull that out. Okay, here's the pedal with the little spacers. Oops, I dropped one of the spacers down there. Okay. Let me see, what did I do with the other? Oh, here it is. Okay. Alright, now we gotta remove all the screws from this side. It's a lot of screws. Lose them. Give me a second, I dropped one under the thing, I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Let's continue getting all these screws out. Just noticed the mud flap is broken off. Oh no. Okay. This side also has 3 flat screws. Make sure you put them back in the right spot. Flat screw here. Okay, 2 more. Make a way to make tire changes on these things easier. Ooh. This up, and I do have this charger thing there, so I do need to disconnect that. You can see how I have that cable plugged in. We're going to disconnect this. Alright, set that aside. Okay, let's see, what do we need to do to disconnect that? So we have this battery cable. These cables that we need to disconnect. So disconnect these 3 cables. Oh, and also this LED cable here. Okay, so put those out. This thing has one of these lock things that I think you need to kind of like push down and then flip it up. I might need a flathead screwdriver. Let's see here. Can I even show this close up? Sorry, I know my shadow's in the way, but okay, so we're gonna flip this or push this up, and then I'm gonna get the flathead screwdriver in there to kind of twist the latch. Or come on. Okay, I think I got it. Unhook it. There we go. Now we got this out. I have to disconnect more things here. I think that's it. I forget how I have the charger plugged. Oh, I have the charger going around this way, and then that's going into the front here. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna unplug that thing. So if I flip this over, is my stuff gonna fall out? Oh, it's gonna fall out. Shoot. Okay, let me see. We're gonna have to thread all these wires out and stuff, and uh-oh, the battery already came apart. So that battery let go, probably gonna have to do this upside down. How am I gonna do this? Does this battery come off? Can I pull this battery out? I don't remember if this battery is glued in stronger or not. It seems like it. Oh no, okay, let's take this battery out. Okay, so get this battery out. I'm gonna set this aside, I'll be back. All right, so we're back. Let's go ahead and we gotta carefully unroute all this stuff. We have this cable here for the charger that I built into here. I'm gonna have to take this charger out. Okay, the battery fell out, so I do need to get underneath and hold that into place while I kind of flip this over. Okay. And stop rolling away. Okay, flip this over. There's the charger. I have the charger connected with this little cable here. Okay, hopefully you can see everything. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's get it that guy that way. Guess I'm gonna have to untwist all this, huh? Alright, I'm gonna have to unwrap all of this stuff. I wasn't thinking about having to eventually do this stuff again, but okay, so we're just gonna unwrap all this cabling like this. Now that we got that out, we should be able to get that, and I can slide this cable back through this hole to get it out. Is this gonna fit through? Come on. The hard part is, okay, get that out. Here's the charger. I'm gonna set that inside and I'll be back. Let's flip this over. And let's see if we can just remove this panel. The battery might fall out, so gotta be careful. Okay, there we go. Now, let's go ahead and take these 6 screws out and see if we can lift this side off. We are obviously going to have to thread these wires out, but we could just thread it through the 1/2 if it lets us. Here. I might have to rewatch my video to see how to guide all these wires again. But there we go. Okay, let's see if we can pop this out. Just guide all these wires down through. There we go. All right, so now we have access to the tire. That's all we needed. Okay, so I'm gonna use 2 flathead screwdrivers to try and pry this out. The tire's already somewhat flat, so let me see. I don't know what you guys are able to see. Let's see if I can. That's probably about as close as it can get, otherwise it's gonna be out of view, right? Okay, let me get something to sit on, I'll be back. All right, back. Let's go ahead and see if we can deflate this thing, or not deflate it, but pull the tire out. first thing you want to do is to, if you didn't already, take the little valve stem cover, sorry, and then you want to deflate that. So there's a little pin in the middle. You actually want to push on that. The wheel's upside down right now, so you can't see it, but you can hear. So I'm just pushing that in. Okay, maybe I need a better tool to do this so I can deflate it faster. Let's try with the flathead screwdriver if I can push the tip in. There we go. Okay, so we're just deflating this. Okay, that's probably deflated enough. So I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver. They do have tools specifically for this, but I'm going to get a flathead screwdriver in, and then you kind of pry out the centerpiece, okay? So just like this, and then you pry this outwards like this, okay? And we're going to have to go in with another flathead screwdriver and do the same thing. Okay, so get in there. Oh, let me make it easier. So we'll get both in at the same time, and then we'll pry it up like that. And it helps if you get one. Oops. Okay, let's get this in there. And try and keep them close together. That will help. The actual tools are a bit wide, quite a bit wider to make it easier. But this is what I have, so this is what I'm using. Okay, so we're going to do that. Then I'm going to get this thing back in over here. Same thing. Push that in under and flip that up. Oops. Okay. Let's go again over to here. Put that in, under, and flip that up. Okay, just like that. And if you have an actual tire removal tool, it would be even easier. I'm just using what I have. There we go. Get that in there. I'm just going to keep prying this tire up all the way around. Okay. Get in there. Just pry it up. Okay, just like that. If you want, you can hold it. Around. Once you have about half of it, it should be really easy to kind of get the whole thing out if I remember correctly. Let's see here. Okay, so now we have more than half. Let's see if we can. Oh no, it's still difficult. I guess we're just gonna have to pry all the way around. Okay. Way around here. There we go. Okay. All right. Well, it looks like I got to do a bunch of this again. I put the wheel back on, or the tire back on, and the inner tube because the phone overheated because I was recording outside and the sun was too hot. But basically, you want to unscrew this, and then you want to push this down to deflate the inner tube as much as you can. You can help by like squeezing this. All right. Once you've deflated it enough, you should be able to kind of push this in there. So it might not go completely in, but you can now lift this up and then you can have access, and now you can pull this out. Okay, once you've done that, you can go ahead and pull the inner tube out. Usually you want to replace this whenever you replace the tire, but if you're going to try and reuse it, you do want to check it for leaks. Probably inflate it quite a bit and stick it in a bathtub or something. Try and see if any air is coming out of it. But this one was leaking, so we're gonna get rid of that. Okay, next we gotta remove the tire here. So the way you can do that, you can pull this and lift it up, and you can actually see if you pinch the two layers together, then you can actually get access to the layer below, and then you can get the screwdriver or whatever tire thing removal tool under there. Okay, once you get under there, you should be able to kind of like pull this up, but if you can't, you can use another screwdriver, or if you can't get from underneath, actually, oops, I didn't get underneath because I didn't pull this out enough. So let's do this again. Okay, So we're probably gonna have to do this a few times to get a little bit of it out. So you guys can see what's going on here. Okay. Same thing, get under there, pull that up.
Okay, so you're getting underneath the bottom rim?
Yep.
On the other
and
side.
Then, once you get under there, if you can pull this up and hold it up, and if the gap stays there, you can actually get the screwdriver in from the other side, and then you can use the round edge to kind of just rotate the wheel. You do want to hold the screwdriver in place really tight, and if you can rotate the wheel, you can basically pop the whole thing up that way. You can see it's moving over, so I can actually work my way over here. Or if you have a way to like hold this, you can like use two hands and maybe pull it like this. Okay, but as you rotate around, you can see it's pulling the tire up. So I'm going to use the little spokes or whatever you want to call these, and there you go. Okay, so there we go, we got this out. Next, you got to make sure there's a little arrow here. So right now, because it's upside down, it's going clockwise, but if I flip it this way, it's going counterclockwise. But it really depends which way you have the wheel facing. This is the front of the wheel, the headlight is here. So when you ride the wheel is going to turn this way, and that's the way you want the arrow pointing. So if you want to make sure that you don't flip it upside down, because right now the arrow is pointing this way, so that's the way we want it. But if you flip it over this way, then now it's pointing this way, and that's wrong. So you want to make sure that the arrow, whichever side it's on, is pointing the right direction. It's going this direction, and that's what we want. So this is the old tire, we're going to get rid of it. We got the new one. Okay, so the new tire also has the arrow here. Okay, you want to make sure when you put that, it's facing the right direction, this way. Okay, we're going to have to get half the tire on first, so you can kind of tilt it this way to get it started. Okay.
You need to put the inner tube first?
No, you can't put the inner tube first. So you get this started here, just like this. Okay, and then you're going to get this in there, and you just pry it to get it over. Okay, then you got to kind of hold it down, get the screwdriver in again over here, and same thing. And there we go. So we got this. So you just get half of it in first, as you can see. Then we got to find the hole for the inner tube again. Oh, my bad. I forgot one important step. Let's take this back off. Okay, if you're strong enough, you can just pull it out without the screwdriver. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually clean inside here, because I'm worried there's some little burrs or something that might damage it. So I got some steel wool, and I'm just going to kind of rotate it in here a little bit to get any sharp or things in there out. Okay. Alright, try and like smoothen it out. Make sure there's no like loose debris of like rocks or anything in there that might scratch it up. Okay, you don't want any sharp things in there to damage it. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there's all this like powdery stuff in there that came out. And that could also be from when the tire's flat and then it popped the seal and then stuff fell in. Okay, but I'm gonna just make sure it's all nice and smooth in there. You can also use a nice like sandpaper foam spongy thing. Just try and make sure it's like a fine grit, that it doesn't make sharp edges inside. Okay, now that we've done that, I got a wet paper towel here, and I'm just gonna use that to kind of clean it. Okay. Look, I'm bleeding. I think I don't know, I pulled too hard and then my skin got pulled apart. Anyways, we're gonna clean all of this inside.
Bleeding coming from your wrist?
No, it's coming from this.
Ouch.
Okay, and then we're just gonna dry it off a bit. Okay, there we go. So we got this all prepped and cleaned. Some people will even put like some kind of tape in there. If you want, you can get that and do that extra step. Okay, so make sure again the arrow's pointing the right way, and we're gonna line this back up again. Okay, get the flathead screwdriver and pry that over. Okay, rotate it. This is the last one. Nope, I gotta go one more time. Come on, get in. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right, so now we got to find the little hole again. I'm going to clean this real quick outside as well because it is dusty. I probably should have done that first, but now we're probably going to get some dirt back in there. Hopefully it will be okay. Okay, so we got that. So now we found the hole for the valve stem. Obviously you got to take the little cover off. Okay, and then let's see, so it was going this way, so we're gonna make sure it goes the same. Alright, hopefully it will. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna find the valve stem hole here, and we're gonna just tuck this all back under there. Okay, then we're gonna have to inflate it to make sure everything's good before we put the wheel back together, because otherwise we're gonna have some trouble. Okay, also if the thing is loose like this, you don't want to roll the wheel around, because the what do you call this, inner tube thing can move around, shift around, and you don't want it shifted around when you're yeah, if you rolled it around without air in it, it'll shift around, and then that can be an issue. So I want to try and make sure to center this. Okay, get the valve stem back in. Can be a little tricky. This is probably one of the trickier parts. You can kind of pinch the whole tube together. Oh, that actually helps. So I'm pinching the whole tube to keep the valve stem in place, and then I can guide it using that. There we go. Oh, I'm bleeding all over this thing. All right, then we gotta carefully. All right, I got a call and it stopped the recording. Anyways, you had to carefully guide this thing through. I don't want to pull it back out, but let's see. Basically, you would guide this through here. You can see, because it's rounded at that angle. But once you got that in, okay, you can, again, pinch the tube layers of the tire together to help push it and guide it. Then once you get it in enough, you can pull this up, and then you can get in there and you can push the valve stem the rest of the way, and just be careful with that. Okay, so there we go. We got the valve stem out. You want to make sure it goes all the way out and it's not just partially. You can tell it's all the way out because when you pull this, oops, you can actually see the curve of the metal change there, and that's what you want. Okay, so I'm going to hold that out, and then I'm going to push the tire, the inner tube, in to this wheel rim. Okay, just like that. All right, and then we're gonna have to carefully, when you put this, you want to be careful not to pinch the tube. So you can see, like, if you're not careful, the tube might stick out. But we're gonna push this in, and then while you're pushing that in, you're gonna push the tire in to seat the bead back behind the wheel. Hopefully you can actually see what's going on.
You can see it.
Okay. And you can see it's a little tricky because it does keep trying to come back out on its own. So you kind of have to work on both sides. Okay. And again, make sure that you're not pinching the inner tube. Okay. All right. When you get towards the end here, as you can see, it's pretty much impossible to do this by hand, and that's where you're going to need the screwdriver. But again, you want to make sure, I'm getting my hand in there to make sure I'm not pinching the inner tube against the wall. And then we're going to rotate this, and then you can push that down. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to go in the center again here. Again, make sure you're not pinching the thing. Okay. All right, and do that. Okay. And there we go, we got this whole thing in place. Now we just gotta inflate the tire and make sure everything's good. So let me go get a pump real quick and I'll be back. All right, so I got this tire inflator tube thing. So this one, let's see if I can do it while it's upside down. This one's kind of cool because it has two parts here, and I can get this in. Okay. And when that second part is unscrewed, then it doesn't engage the pin, so the air won't just leak out. Okay, so I'm going to tighten that on, then I'll get the second part on, and then we're going to inflate the tire a bunch. I'm going to get this on. Maybe it will be better to use an electric pump, but that's what we're going to use. So we're going to be doing this for a long time to get it up to 40 psi. So you don't need to see this part, so we'll stop here and then we'll be back when it's fully inflated. Alright, so I got it all inflated, and the way I know is my pump, if I do that, it kind of pulls itself out, and that should be about 40 if not more. Okay, so this thing is kind of cool because I can undo the first one and it'll push that out. Now it's no longer engaged in the pin. I can actually unscrew the whole pump thing here. Okay. This way. I don't know why I can't find this pump anymore because it's a nice design. Then we can take this off and it won't even let any air out. There we go. Perfect. Okay, then we'll put the valve stem cover back on. Alright. Okay, you can see the tire's still squishy. I don't know how high to really inflate it. Sometimes I like to make it extra firm, but alright, just depends on your preference. So now we got this, we're gonna have to thread this stuff back through, so this will sit back on here. Oh no, my mud flap is messed up. Okay, so look at that. We're gonna have to thread these wires back through. Okay, there's the 2 battery ones, or actually 3 battery ones, sorry, and then there's one for the LED. So push these cables back up through. Hopefully I'm putting it the right way. Yep. Here. Then, now we should be able to push this one back down, put this all line back up. Okay, make sure everything is lined up nice. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and put these screws back on. Oops. Okay, lots of screws. Put these guys back in. So I'm going to loosely fit it first. Make sure everything is lined up. And then we're going to crisscross screw them in so that it goes down evenly. So we'll do this one first. And then we'll do this one. Okay, and we'll do this one. And we'll do this one. Alright, so there we go, got all that. Let me go get the battery back and then the little charger thing. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Alright, so let's get the battery. Here's the battery. Okay, was it this way? I don't think it matters as long as you can plug everything back in. But I think it was this way, yeah. Okay, so the battery was in here. We had this little foam piece that's just going to fall out again, so it doesn't matter. But let's get this in there. Okay, Then we have the little LED connectors that we got plugged back in. Push that in. Okay. Then the battery connector, be careful, it might spark. Okay, good. Usually if it doesn't spark, that means the voltages between both battery packs are pretty close together. If it sparks, then usually the voltages are very far apart, so you want to be careful because that means you didn't charge your batteries. They want to be like even voltages when you plug it in, or you can have some problems. It might even blow up, I don't know. Anyways, we'll line up the two connectors here. We got the 2-pin one, click that in. Alright, this has the little latch, make sure that latch is in so that if you try and pull it, it stays. And then we got the other one here, same thing. Okay, make sure, put it in the right way. Okay, it has the little thing sticking up so you know which way to put it. Click that in, again, make sure it doesn't move. We'll get this back in there. Okay, and I gotta be careful because you see this battery cable is kind of like flopping up and going in the screw area. So I'm going to try and push that down and then use this. Hopefully that will hold that in a little bit better. Okay, and then we had the battery thingy here. I forgot how I had this. I think it was upside down like this. I might have to rewatch my video to make sure I don't put this in wrong because I want to make sure it fits right. So give me a second. I'm going to rewatch my video and I'll be back. Alright, let's get this back in. So it was going this way. Okay, so we'll get that back in. Alright, then I had this cable going around the battery here. Alright, and then it went over under here. Okay, just like this. And then this one tucked into this hole. Gotta make sure it goes down through all the way. That's gonna be a little tricky, but that's how we had this. Okay, you can actually tuck this over here and this over here as well. Okay, or should I put it further up here? I don't think it really matters as long as I don't clamp it down. Okay, now I gotta thread this guy through. That's the tricky part. All right, I'm back. I don't know if these needle nose pliers are gonna be wide enough to reach it, but let's see. Might have to help me hold this up so it doesn't fall over. Okay. I'll just hold it with my head maybe. Okay, this is working. I'm just poking it through. There we go. Okay. So, I'm gonna let this back down. Be careful, this battery is just here because it fell out. Okay. Got that all the way through. Okay, so this should be good now. We can actually put the other bottom cover back on. How much of this is in view of the camera? Okay. All right, so let's see. Did I need to put? Okay, those are for that. That's for that. That's for that. Okay, so I'm going to plug this guy back in that I added, my external charger. Plug that in, just like that. Make sure it stays between these posts so it doesn't get smashed by anything. Okay, rotate that. I'm going to get this cable back on there. I don't remember how I had it. I think it was like this, but it's not really like that. Oh yeah, just like that. Okay, so just like this, we have this coil wrapping around here. I'll actually wrap it down this way so it's a little better. Okay, let's get this all lined up. And now let's just get all these screws back in. All these screws, got lots of screws here. All the screws. Again, we have 3 flat ones, so one of the flat ones goes here, and another flat one goes here. Okay, let's go ahead and tighten these down. rest in. This in. This one in. Hopefully we're not missing anything. This one. Clipping in. There we go. Oh wait, did I? Oops, I put the wrong one. My bad. Okay, the flat screw goes there, not here. Okay, flat screw goes here. Am I squishing a wire in there? Oh no. Why is this not going completely flat? Am I squishing the wire? Did I not? I'm gonna have to take them all back out just to check.
I think it's because you tightened the other side down too hard first.
Let's see here. It might be that wire for that charger I put. Take this out. Oops. Hope I'm not damaging the battery on the other side. Let's see, can I lift it enough? Yep. Get that out of the way. Okay. It's hitting stuff here. Yeah. Oh. Okay, I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Yeah, maybe I did tighten it too much on the other side first. Okay, let's loosen these a little bit. Because this side didn't seem to line up right. Okay. This side. Okay. I don't know, this side doesn't seem to want to sit completely flat, but I guess it is what it is. It's like the battery's pressing up on it. Alright, last screw, and then we just tighten them all in. Now we've got that. We can go ahead and put back the pedal. Let's see, which side was which? It's the front, so this is the pedal for this side, I'm sure. Okay. Oh, it's really hot. It's burning my hand. Okay, so we're gonna get this back in. And this. Okay. This. Ooh, this thing's burning hot. Okay, let me actually get one in first. Oops. Put that in. Oh, I got it. Okay, then we'll push that in, and then you put it in from the top, and then while it's falling down, you get that in. I got it. Okay, get that in, just like that. We'll get these two guys in there. Let me push this further in. Okay, usually what I do is I kind of try and measure to make it about equal. And I think this, yeah, the shape of this is enough to do that. Okay. And we'll get that in. Good. We'll get the other side in. Make sure when you tighten this in, it should go in easily. You don't want to try and force it in and then strip the threadings. Okay. Should be relatively easy to get these in. And then once you hit the bar and the pole in the middle, you'll feel it gets difficult to turn. Okay, so this is now almost to there. This is now almost to there, so we can tighten that. And then tighten this. Oops, put that down. Tighten that. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna now flip this over and get the other side back in. Okay, I gotta make sure to hold on to the battery because the battery fell out or fell down. It's not attached. Lift this up, flip it over. There we go. Okay, you can see all the battery connections here and the wiring. Okay, so hopefully you can see the whole wheel in the view. I don't know. There we go. Okay, let's get all this back into place as well. Okay, this attaches to the top cover, so I can leave that in there. And then this guy I had plugged in to here, so like that there, just like that. Let's see, should I wrap this all back around on there again? Okay, I think I had it wrapped all the way. Huh. I had it wrapped like that? Okay, fine, sure. Or is it because I had it going in like this? No, it's easier this way. Okay, we'll wrap this around. This part doesn't really matter as much, it's just to keep the cables more organized. Wrap this all around here, just like this. Okay. There we go. Let's light that up. Okay. And uh-oh. Maybe I didn't have it
around too much. Yeah, I won't go back in.
I mean, I can leave this back out and then just wrap the other one by itself, but okay, just like that. Okay, so wrap that in. Then we can wrap this so it just stays over here. Just like that. Okay. sure that stays in there. Make sure this doesn't get clamped in. We got this, so we gotta make sure to push these over. Okay, let's see here. Some of the wires went behind and some went in front. I don't know if they can all go on the other side, can they? Can these all go on this side? Let's see, these are the LED ones, and yes they can. Alright. Slide that over there. Keep these in there, tucked in. Okay, then we had this for the little switch. I might need some new adhesive for that, but we'll find out. Alright, this part I need to put the foam in. There we go. Get this cable tucked back down there. Okay, unplug anything else? Just the battery, I think, I hope. Okay, I think that's everything else, and then we gotta just worry about the, okay, hopefully this won't explode, so you gotta be careful, it might spark. Oh, okay, good. Since I didn't drain the power from this side, the voltage was equal still. I didn't change anything, so it should be good. Alright, so we have this, which goes to my external plug charger thing. But I think what we should do is put all these screws out here back in first. That way everything is for sure lined up. Okay, so we have, I think all these are the screws here. Okay, is it all still in view?
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna get all these screws back in. The ones for the handle up here. Okay, oops, wrong screwdriver. We've got to twist it backwards, make sure it goes in, and then tighten it down. Okay, good. Same thing with this one. Backwards, hear it click, and then tighten it down. This screw's just twisting non-stop. There's a spider that came to play on my wheel. Okay, we're gonna get the front one in here now. Okay. Tuck that in. Hopefully it's going in right. Okay, yep, it's getting tighter, that's good. Perfect. Okay, we'll get the one in the back. Over here. Just the backward and then tighten it down. There's a little jumping spider came here. It's a little jumping spider. Can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go. Focus on it. Look at that little guy. Wake up. Okay, let's go. I had to fling him off. Okay, next. Okay, put this one in. That screw
Oh,
down.
it defocused on the wheel.
Huh? It's not focusing on the wheel?
It did now. I had to tap on it since you tapped on the spider.
Okay, make sure that goes in all the way. Good. Alright, what else? We got this one up here. Get that, tighten that
What
in.
happened?
Fixing this wheel because the tire was too old.
A pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Hi.
Okay,
Hi,
we got two more.
Oh, you're not supposed to move.
What's
A little bit. Lesson learned.
Huh?
Do not cause 6666666.
Okay.
Do you know why?
No,
Demons.
there's only supposed to be 3.
That's Demon's phone number.
What you're doing here, okay? I need to get going. Don't bother Uncle Ben.
Okay. There we
Put
go.
it on the
We got
fridge,
all this
Camila.
tightened into place. Alright, now we got to put the handlebar back in. So the handlebar, they just clamp in like this. And like this. Okay. Could technically tighten that one in first on its own, but get this all Good. All right, so we had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we got these 4 screws. So we'll get this guy in. Hopefully you guys can see that.
I can see it.
Okay. This one. Morning. Okay, that tightened in. Alright, this one tightened in. Oops. Yeah. These screws aren't the magnets are holding strong enough. It's happening where they're breaking stuff. Last 2 on the back of the handle here. Almost done, and then we can start it up and give it a test ride.
And I can go get some hot sauces and Taco Bell.
Okay. The last screw at the bottom of the handle here.
This cool blanket's getting hot.
Okay, make sure it's good. Make sure this is good. Make sure this is good. Alright, now we can push that in. Let's see, the trolley handle is good now. Alright, I'm going to set this aside because we might need it. Okay, so now I think all that's left is this panel and the other one. So I'm gonna plug back in my charger thing. Alright, tucks down. You're not gonna be able to see that. But then we have this piece that we gotta do as well. And this one I'm just gonna stick it back to the double stick tape. Hopefully it holds okay. Okay, that's the touch sensor I added to change the lights. And line everything up.
That's where it is.
Drop
I
it
got
down.
slapping it all over the place. I'm like, where's the sensor?
Alright, let's get all the screws back in.
What's the power switch for on
The power switch is to connect and disconnect the internal charger.
Oh.
Because I didn't want it to where it's always plugged in, just in case some things like can short out.
Maybe
So
that's why I wasn't charging when I plugged it in at my office.
No.
I was like, it's not.
Oh, you used the built-in charger?
I tried to, yeah, because I didn't bring the charger with me, and the wheel was like dying.
Yeah.
Like, when I got
So you
there
have to
one
put
day.
it to this on switch, and then it will charge. But that charger doesn't make any sound. It's quiet, and it charges really slow.
That's fine.
So-
I was at work for 8 hours.
So, okay. And also you have to plug it in kind of hard. It's that cable. Unless somebody changed the cable, because one time somebody changed out to like a not as good cable, and then wait, where's the other flat screw? Did I lose one of the screws? Oh, it's over there.
They're supposed to be
I see.
3 each.
I lost one of those. I dropped it. It's under the pedal.
Yeah, I see it.
Go. Oh. Go. Right. Oh, this one's, the plastic got brittle. It's like cracking here. Yes?
Where's the charger?
Give me a second.
1 second is over.
Few minutes.
Give me an hour. Alright, we're almost done. back, it'll probably fall off eventually. What are they fighting about? Okay. And we just need one more pedal and the cover, and we should be good to go. I don't know what's going on. My neighbors are yelling about something. Oh my goodness, what is happening?
Call the police for public disturbance.
Public disturbance.
They keep sending the neighborhood thing over to tell us to cut our weeds.
Okay, go. Okay. Now we just got to get the pedal on and the cover, and we're good to go. Okay, so we'll get this in first. Put this spacer on. Okay, line that up, get that in. I'm gonna have to use the hammer for this, I think. Man, why'd you ride in some gross mud? What is that?
Because when I was trying to go in the bike lane in the park, there were a lot of people walking there. I was like, screw that, and then I went in the like dirt part in the Augustine Park.
Pushed it too far. I need to push it back.
And I did not expect the mud to be really wet because it was sunny, so I thought it was dry, and then I was like, no.
Okay, there we go. And push that in. Alright, it's working. And we're gonna use this to push that in. I don't know what's going on with my neighbors. I have to go over there and ask them if they need some help. Okay, this is being
Do it. Domestic violence is dangerous.
Okay. I think that should be good enough. Alright, let's go ahead now and get these back in. Get the bottom cover back on, and we're good to go. Now it's getting hard to turn. There we go. Be just about there. Okay. Side.
It's not like it's like a minute.
Give me a second. Almost done.
Hey, we're like 10 seconds.
5 more minutes.
Guys in. Let's go ahead and tighten this. Okay. And tighten this. Alright, so we got all of that bolted down. Let's clean up these tools. Where's the other bolt bracket?
Put the cable under the handle.
Yeah, I'll do it. This done. Okay, we get another valve cover. Other 2 screwdrivers away. Alright, and we have the wheel now. Let's see, this side goes here. Oh, it's really dusty. Let me get that lampstand and stuff. Okay. Alright, so this, I'm gonna have to pull you guys up here. Okay. So this one, I'm gonna lift it this way. Uh-oh. Clean off all this dirt, because I don't want that in there. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on. It's already balancing itself. Good. Okay, now, it's trying to roll forward on me. Okay, now we got to get this guy back in there. Okay, that. Oh no, my thing is getting unstitched. Okay, wrap that around. Get this on.
4 more minutes.
No, 1 minute.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have to turn it off to do this, I think. There's that.
How
Now
low is
turn
your
it off.
battery? You shouldn't die in 30 seconds.
No, how low is your battery?
Going just
Don't you charge it all the time?
Just
Go where? Where are we going?
I'm finding the charger. Where is it?
Okay, get that hooked on.
Show me.
Get that hooked on.
Should be where you last left it.
Hooked on. Alright. Flip this guy over. Hooked in. And the last one. Put that on. Perfect. Alright. And I stored the cable in here for my built-in charger. Oops, I should leave it on. Okay, and I tuck the charging plug in here so it doesn't get caught on anything. This stuff all in. This one in there. There we go. Pull this on. And there we go. The wheel is ready to go. Let's go and give it a ride. Okay. Haven't ridden this thing in a long time, but let's see. Okay. It's a new tire. Whoa, it's more squirrely now. I think I need to deflate it some. But it's working. I inflated it pretty high pressure. Alright. That's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped you. I know it was a very long video with added stuff that you don't have in your own wheel. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.